What time is it? Podcast time. It's a celebration. What time is it? Podcast time. Hello and welcome to the It's Your Effin' Journey podcast. My name is Melissa Hemming, and if a life coach and a therapist had a baby, you get me. I am excited to be here as always today. I'm in my car again because I like the reels better. I like the reels better of me in the car. What do you guys think? Actually, where's my little microphone too? Because I like using a little microphone. I like this. I need to get one of those like fuzzy mics again. This has been a week, y'all, and I have no makeup on, and I'm glad about that because I've been fucking crying all week because of Toy Story 5 and Taylor Swift's new song, which has torn at all of our heartstrings. And I'm so grateful for social media to be able to put into because I think the first couple days I'm like, why am I crying all the time? And then I finally understood it. Like Toy Story has, and I don't want to cry now, but I might. Toy Story has been with us when we were little to when our kids were little, and now our kids are old. And it gives you all the feels. So, and I don't know. My girl Taylor always makes me emotional anyway. She was at the Knicks game last night. Oh my God, so many feels. So it's been a big week in terms of things that have been happening in my life. This particular weekend that just passed, I sort of have a couple different traditions that happen. And so we started with Saturday, the naked run. That was my third year doing it. So if you are new to the podcast, first of all, welcome. I don't know why I said that. I had a client tell me last night that she listened to my podcast and my mind was totally blown. I think that's the first time I've ever heard that. And it's weird to have all of your worlds collide. So you know what? I'm not even going to start at the naked run because that was secondary. This has been a wild week. I've told you guys that my social media has been blowing up, which has been really interesting and scary and overwhelming. And it's crazy because for me, I've said this before, it takes me forever to learn things, and it makes me mad, but it also, like, once I get something, I'm like, oh, and you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up because my process is my process. And, however I get to it, however long it takes, I'm grateful for the lessons. And, one thing that I was always taught in social media is be authentic, and storytelling is what is going to lead to success. And for some reason, I just didn't grasp that. I didn't sort of show who I was to the best of my ability. And now that I am, people are, I guess, liking it. So I'm here for it. It's just sort of me being unhinged and sharing that. It's sharing what I usually share in my stories, which is very unhinged, on my regular feed and reels. And that is very exposing, but being that people are responding and seeming to like it, it feels good. So I'm here for it. So Saturday began with Iron Horse. Iron Horse is a HMF race in Simsbury. So Simsbury, Connecticut is where I grew up. That's where my parents still live. It's where I was bullied relentlessly. It's my hometown, good or bad. And there's happy memories and there's not so happy memories and everything in between. But I love to volunteer at Iron Horse. I hate running Iron Horse. Sorry, HMF. Not the 10K, but I hate the half marathon because you have to run through the finish at mile 8 and then go back out for like 5 miles, and it's so the Iron Horse course is not my favorite to run, but I love to volunteer at it. Usually I volunteer at registration, but this year I got to do athlete food, and I love volunteering for HMF. I love volunteering at races. I love to, be that person that can make someone's day at a race. You never know if someone's running their first race or they're running through something or for something, or, you never know what somebody's going through at any point in any given day or situation, but particularly at a race. I love to be that person who can be a happy memory or a smiling face or offer congratulations and support and all of that. That's the magic of the running community, and I love to be a part of it. So I just love being a part of the supportive running community. and bringing the energy. And it's so nice because like inevitably somebody that I volunteer with will say like, you have such good energy, and it always feels good to hear that. And it feels good to be a bright spot in the runner's day. But so this was wild though, because I was at Iron Horse and a couple people came up to me there and said, I follow you on social media, or I saw, are you the Gym Crush real girl? And it blows my mind. I feel like I know I have a podcast. I know I share openly on social media, but I can't ever believe it when people have seen it. And I know that probably doesn't make sense to most people, but it's crazy. So I had a lot of that morning. I had so much fun. And then I went over right away to the Naked Run. So the Naked Run is a race that I've done. As I said, this is my third year. I watched for years and years and years people from my running group do the Naked Run. It's a naked 5K at a nudist resort in Woodstock, Connecticut every June. It's a color run, so you're naked and getting sprayed with color. And I watched runners from my running group go and feel so empowered. All different people, all different shapes, sizes, ages. And I was always so inspired and mesmerized and intrigued. And I really wanted to have that experience. And, if you've been around for a while, you know that my husband, who I'm no longer with, did not want me to run the Naked Run. And we fought about it year after year. It would be coming and we'd talk about it. And he was basically like, if you run the Naked Run, we're getting a divorce. And so 3 years ago, I said, bet. And I ran the Naked Run. And I think we broke up a couple months later. We didn't break up. I tell this story, openly and to a lot of people, not to shame him. He has his own beliefs about being naked and bodies and what that means. And I think that if you don't know also what this race is, like maybe, and I mean, I guess everybody feels differently about being naked. To me, naked is natural and there's nothing necessarily sexual about it. And especially if you've been to this fucking race, you know what I mean. But everybody has their own opinions about that. I just felt like, and he wasn't controlling in other ways in our relationship. But that to me was like, you don't tell me what to do. If you tell me what to do, I'm going to fucking do it. And, and honestly, beyond him telling me no, it was important for me to do for my own body, for my own, like being comfortable in my skin. And honestly, it's helped me just appreciate my body, love my body, and not just my body, but to understand how imperfect we all are. When you're running around naked, like you see the skin flap, you see all the imperfections, and you realize it's not just you, it's everyone. And it really helps. It helps me. So I did it, as I said, 3 years ago. Now my back is out. My back is out and I am miserable. Have now decided that I'm just going to rest. I'm going to rest because I'm so uncomfortable. But last week I was like, all right, let me see what I can do with the Naked Run. I wasn't sure if I should walk it, but I ended up feeling great. I ran it with Alexis, my good friend, ran it for the first time, her first Naked Run, and a couple of us were there. And it's cool because you get access to the resort for the day. So we were able to go to the pool afterwards. And last year it was raining, so we left right away. But this year was a beautiful day, so I was skinny dipping in the pool. I mean, they had to pull me out of the pool. It was just in heaven. I love skinny dipping. I love being naked, and just the pool was like, I'm sort of a baby. If it's too cold, I don't want to go in. It was perfect. It was just wonderful. So, and we were talking about it. I think sometimes I get a lot of questions about the Naked Run, like, if it hurts your boobs. I mean, it's a 5K. It's not, you're not topless for the rest of your life. So there's a little bit of shaking. And, sometimes I hold them just, out of comfort, but it's really not that bad. I think that when people imagine a naked race, they imagine it like they're naked at a regular race. And so that would be weird. But when everyone's naked, it's just not weird. And it's a family environment. So it's, as I said, there's nothing sexual. There's no touching allowed.
we were actually talking about this. There's actually a rule that you can't have piercings on your genitals there. We did see a bunch of people with, I think they're called Prince Alberts, but so that's how I want to say strict it is in terms of it not being sexual. It's very just natural, naked is natural. So I had that day. So this is my I don't often go back to Simsbury. I visit my parents, of course, and there's some events, of course, that I do. But this weekend is funny because I'm an Iron Horse on Saturday, and then Sunday I did the MS walk with my friend Brooke, who has MS, who I did all that fundraising for London, Tokyo. It was just London and Tokyo. And so MS, the uh what's the right word, MS will, I say MS will always have a place in my heart, but I guess fundraising for MS or the community, the MS community will always have a place in my heart just because of her. And her mom has it also. And you can't fundraise the amount of money that I fundraise for MS and not feel connected to it in some way. So I am always honored to go to the MS walk. It's a 3 mile walk in Simsbury, same fucking place as Iron Horse, and do that with her family and spend some time with them because I just adore them. They're like the cutest little family ever. And just to learn about MS and all the things that I've learned through fundraising for them, it's just a privilege to be a part of it. So I did that on Sunday. My back was still hurting. So I ran the race on Saturday. I feel fine when I'm running. It's afterwards. Like I picked up my turtle's water tank when I was cleaning his tank wrong, and that's what's hurt my back, which mentally really sucks for me because this is technically, is it week 2 of Berlin training? I'm not even sure. I don't even know. That's how crazy this is for me. You guys know I usually do like a weekly reel of my training mileage, and I don't even know where I am in training, but it'll be okay. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. My friend Susie, she's injured as well, so she's a little bit behind in her training, and I keep telling her she's going to be okay. So if I'm saying that to Susie, I should also be able to say that to myself. That's the trick with life and with coaching and being kind to yourself. If you are not going to say it to your friend, why would you say it to yourself? So it's going to be okay. So then I have one of my other favorite yearly events is the Mainly Marathons race. And I've done that every year. For the last 2 years, I did the marathon and I signed up for the marathon this year. For some reason, I'm like, there was such a gap from Tokyo. Tokyo was March 1st. Training for Berlin didn't start, as I said, till like 2 weeks ago. So there was such a big gap in training. I tried to really do what I could to maintain my miles without like killing myself or not enjoying the miles, because like in my off training season, I want to not feel like I'm giving my all to running, but running helps me mentally so much, right? And I was really proud of myself. I think I averaged like 75 miles running for the 2 months that I was in off season, if you will. Like I talk like I'm a fucking competitive runner. Like I run for fun. I run for fucking fun. But you know what I mean. So I signed up for the marathon, which I knew would be a stretch. But if there's any race to do this at, it's mainly marathons. There's no time limit. There the environment is so supportive no matter what speed you're doing it at. It's an out and back course, so you get tons of support along the way. And I knew that being I have no time limit, like why would this be a problem? Well, then enter these back problems. So luckily too, you can drop at any point what you're signed up for, or you can jump, up in a race. They're very accommodating there. It's a great, great atmosphere. So I didn't know what I was going to do, but then when I woke up that morning, when I woke up that morning, I got out of bed and I was like, okay, my back feels like okay today. And then for some reason, like I get in my car and then I get out of my car and I'm like, I need like a couple minutes to like stand up straight and not be like hobbling. And I knew then, I'm like, I'm going to do the half. I don't, even if I could run the marathon, I think I would hurt my back more after the fact. And that's not smart. And I knew also, getting a half marathon under my belt in this early in training is a great, first step anyway. So, I mean, 13 miles doesn't come up in my training plan, I think, for another couple weeks. So to have that run done was good. So I did that rate. I did the half marathon, had so much fun. It's fun because like that race brings out a bunch of friends every year that come back for it. And then you get to meet a whole new group of mainly marathoners. And they are, a lot of them are doing a race every day in this week in New England. So they started in Connecticut Monday. They went to went to Rhode Island Tuesday, Massachusetts Wednesday. I don't know where they are today, New Hampshire. So they're doing marathon or half marathon or 10K, 5K every fucking day. So it's just impressive. And that's just the starting point. And I guess someone told me that some of them had done the whole week before another series called the Independence Series. So like these people are incredible, and like they're okay going at whatever pace they're going because they're just out there to have fun, and they're out there to get the state and see the state. And it's such a great vibe. If you've never done a mainly marathon race, I think your first one's always free too. So check the website out, mainlymarathons.com. They have them all over the United States, and a lot of them do these races to hit that goal of getting a race in every state. So that was my third day in Simsbury. Iron Horse Saturday, MS Walk Sunday, mainly marathons Monday. And, there's something about running the streets of Simsbury where I was bullied relentlessly. It's funny, last year I ran to, I always run to Taylor Swift albums. And last year I ran to Tortured Poets because I'm forever in my Tortured Poets era. This year I started a couple months ago. I started in my off training season doing a run to every one of her albums from shortest to longest. And it was funny because the morning I was starting the mainly marathons race, I did a quick Google search and I was like, what? I knew that I did Speak Now last. So I was like, what's the next longest album after Speak Now? And of course, it was Tortured Poets, which I'm not sad about. I love running to Tortured Poets. So I ran again, mainly marathons to Tortured Poets. And as you guys know, if you're Swifties, one of the songs is Thank You, Aimee. And it's about a bully. And it's about, that, while you pushed me down and tormented me and, were terrible to me, I still continued to build and be me and do my thing. And there's something really cathartic for me running to Thank You, Aimee, in those streets where, I was called a slut and, had eggs put in my shoes and was pushed against brick walls and, fucking putting my hair, gum in my hair in class. And, when I think back about God, I think the thing that makes me so mad is not how they treated me, but that I allowed them to treat me like that. Like, why the fuck didn't I say, you little fucking bitch? Like, she was like 5'3", and I think I was 5'8" at that time. Like, I could have just pushed her little ass back into the brick wall, but no, I took it. I took it like a sucker. And I wish one adult just came up to me and said, Melissa, punch her. I probably wouldn't have done it because I was me I was little Melissa at the time, but that's why I've always said to my kids, like, don't ever hit first, but if someone's going to repeatedly touch you, you teach people how to treat you. And I never learned that as a kid. I just fucking sat there and took it. And that makes me so mad. And I remember I used to have dreams. I had like this reoccurring dream where I would throw a punch and the punch would stop right before her face. It was like I couldn't get there. And if I had a kid and that was happening to that kid, I would join them in that. I would say, you get the kid, I'll get the mom. In reality, I don't even think she had a fucking mom, or not a very present one at that. But, hurt people hurt people. But, and I don't harbor these feelings, but when I fucking sing Thank You, Aimee, running through the streets of Simsbury, like, there wouldn't be this if there hadn't been her. And, I'm not, am I grateful for that? am I grateful for being bullied relentlessly? I guess, because then it took me to Stoneleigh in my boarding school in high school because I was like, get me the fuck out of this school. So yeah, I guess in a way I am grateful for that. And I'm grateful um for knowing what I know now about teaching people how to treat you. And I guess it's modeled a lot of my parenting too, because as I said, I have always taught my kids, like, yeah, I don't condone violence, but if someone's not taking your verbal words and stopping, you gotta do something. And because what happened to me was not the answer. They just didn't know how to handle bullies, and it makes me sad because from things that I see on social media, I don't think that a lot of schools still know how to handle bullies. I don't think they know what the fuck to do. They had to remove me from all of these situations to keep me safe, and it really ultimately didn't even end up keeping me safe. But that's neither here nor there. So I wanted to share that weekend. My back, as I said, is a mind fuck. So I went to the gym yesterday. I was gonna maybe run. I decided that was a dumb decision, and that's when I decided to just take some time off. I am flying to a wedding in Texas this weekend. Joel Freeman and Megan Ewelson are getting married. My old great grandma coach from Beachbody is marrying Joel, and I was in all my feels about it last night, looking through our old memories of one of our leadership retreats in Nashville. And that particular one, we sort of got to watch Megan and Joel fall in love, or it was the beginning of their relationship. So it was super super cute and sweet. And it was actually when he was about to start building out his house so that they could come live with him, and he was so excited. And it's been really sweet to see the development of their relationship, and I can't wait to see them get married, and I can't wait to see some of my favorite people from Beachbody at the wedding this weekend and have some fun. It'll be a really good time. I will never not miss Beachbody events and the ability to see these people that I used to be able to see multiple times a year. And I love it. So that's what's up. That's what's up. A lot of fucking shit, and I feel like, there's just so much going on, and I'm trying to just continue taking the best care of me through it all, which right now means rest, which is not my favorite, but it's necessary because I don't want to injure myself anymore. And that is always what sets me apart from other runners, is like, I'm not going to run through this pain. I'm going to wait for it to clear up so that I don't make anything worse. And I want to be able to dance at the wedding. So I'm just going to rest until, and we'll see how I feel on Monday. And hopefully Monday I can jump right back into everything. And if not, I will reevaluate and see how it goes. But I am not defined by how much I work out. My worth is not defined by who chooses me. And I am a badass bitch no matter what. And you are too. So let's fucking go. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this episode, send it to a friend, take a screenshot, tag me in your stories. If you want to hear more, you can join the really unhinged exclusive content. I guarantee 2 episodes per month, and it has been compared to a soap opera. It's really where I just sort of peel back the onion on other shit that I'm going through that I'm a little bit more hesitant to share in a public way. And, I believe at this time that sharing authentically helps others. I used to sort of have this mindset of like, how can I help you? And I still have that, of course, because that's why I do everything that I do. I want to help others. But I also realize that just being me and sharing what I'm going through inevitably helps others. And that's been a shift in how I and maybe that's also why things are working now, right? Like, I'm not trying to perform. That's the difference. I'm not performing anymore. I'm just being me. And I can't tell you how freeing that is. I can't even tell you. And I am going to cry. It's not just freeing. It's like, I think it is freeing, but then it's also to have that free feeling of me sharing, and then to have you guys responding and like saying to me in real life, like, this helped me, or I saw this, or keep going, or this made a difference to me. I think that is like what's sort of like blowing my mind about how this is all connecting and growing and like it's crazy. So I thank you for being here. Thank you for coming up to me in the wild and sharing with me, even though I may look at you like you have nine heads because I'm like, wait, what? You listen to me? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I love you guys and I'll see you soon.